I'm StatTrack Senior Editor Adam Barone. I'm joined now by ASA President Jeri Mulrow, who recently retired from WestStat. Congratulations on that. And Peggy Carr of the National Center for Education Statistics for a conversation about public service, personal history, and what it takes to earn and sustain trust in federal data. Drawing on Peggy's career in education statistics and her leadership of the nation's report card, their session will connect lived experiences with the calling of our profession to use data in service of the public. Jeri, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
All right. Well, Peggy, I'm so excited that you're here today, and thank you for agreeing to be the President's Invited, doing the President's Invited address.
Oh, it is indeed my honor.
So, you know, we've both worked in the federal statistical system for quite a few years. So was there a moment in your career when you first realized that public service was where you wanted to be?
Well, it's interesting because I could probably identify several milestones that sort of led me to that conclusion, sort of important points in my career, my lived experience. But if I had to identify one, I would identify the moment I realized that I needed to leave my institution where I got my PhD, Howard University, where I was working. You know how you've been for a while at a university and now you're working at a university. I realized I needed to get out in the world. And I was helping a student actually, and he said to me, you know, you need to have a bigger footprint. That this is important work that you're doing here at the university, but I think you could do a lot better and reach more people if you work for the federal government.
Wow.
Yeah.
A student, even.
It was a student I was helping. And it was interesting because I kind of said no the first year, but he came back the next year, and I realized that maybe he was right.
Was he from the federal government?
Yeah, he was.
Ah, okay.
And that was when I became the chief statistician for the Office for Civil Rights.
Very cool.
So that's pretty much my entree into public service.
Amazing.
I really loved it.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Wow. It's amazing that a student actually sort of gave you that idea to do it.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Well, you know, we know you as a statistician, but I've always thought that there was something else that motivated you, that was something deeper. Where did that come from?
Well, it's interesting because I was just talking about Howard University, and if I had to stick with a theme that I really think answers the question, I would say Howard. Howard University has a motto, is truth and service. And I'll talk more about that in my presidential address later. But if you know anyone that went to Howard University and you sort of think about what they did with their lives, you'll see it's sort of a pattern. Thurgood Marshall, Vice President Kamala Harris, Chadwick Boseman. These are people who took their careers, their passion, and turned them into service. And that is what Howard University sort of pushed with the students. Whatever it is that you're studying, you need to figure out how to help people, how to help the community, how to help improve lives. So I would give credit to Howard University.
Well, I would say you've certainly embodied that.
Yeah, they kind of ingrained it into you.
But that's wonderful. I wish we would all have that ingrained into us. That would be lovely, you know, either through family or school. But speaking of family, you know, for both of us, understanding our careers seems to require an understanding of our families first. What about your upbringing helped shape your career path?
Well, again, many milestones, but I want to tell you a story that I think will help you understand why I think the way that I do. I'm from a really small town in North Carolina near the Outer Banks. Surely you've heard of the Outer Banks.
I've heard of the Outer Banks, yes.
And it's
Never been there.
It's a really small town, and before forced integration, my mother and her friends decided that my sister was going to integrate the high school.
Oh, wow.
And that was a big deal because it was
imagine.
not,
North Carolina.
not required. It was North Carolina. And she was a little thing. She's one of my older sisters. She couldn't have been more than 98 pounds, for something. And I remember how hard it was for her. She would always sort of come back and say, the struggle. My mother and her friends did things like sit at lunch counters. They got crosses burned in their yard.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Oh,
But
my
it was my
goodness.
first sort of orientation to this is what I'm supposed to be doing, how my community makes makes a path for the future, not just for themselves, but for the future.
Right.
And then when I'm behind my sister a little bit, when I got to be in the 10th grade, we integrated the high school for it was forced integration. And what I remember, Jeri, is, oh my gosh, I was like, the head of this, the head of that, head majorette, highest in my class, I was, top. But when we integrated, all of a sudden I wasn't the top anymore.
What happened here?
What is going on? I'm supposed to be number one. And I wasn't number one anymore.
Oh my gosh.
And there was competition. And the principal became the vice principal, and the people who were leading the band became the assistants. So
I see. Wow.
it was a transformation and a way to sort of, a new way of thinking about life.
Interesting.
And so I would say, there are more lived experiences, but that was how I was indoctrinated to my community and my role in the community. So it was part of the family history.
But it's a hopeful story too, I think.
It was. On the good side of things, that class that I graduated with
look
had
at
the highest number of graduates, black or white, to go on to college.
That's amazing. That's
And
great.
of course, I was one of them, and I'm not sure I would have done it had I not been, in that context.
Wow.
So there's good. You can
There
find
is
good in
good.
any.
There is good
anything.
out of that. Even out of all of the struggles and challenges that you've had. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Well, I'm going to turn a little bit to some of the things that you've done in your career. So you've spent decades helping the public understand the education through the nation's report card.
Oh,
Yeah.
my love.
I love it too. Was there a particular moment when the importance of the public trust became real to you?
I'll say a little bit more about this in my address, but when I left the Office for Civil Rights, because I really wasn't there that long, only about 3 years, and someone said to me something very similar to what the student said when I was at Howard. You could do more if you were at the National Center for Education Statistics. Because as the chief statistician for the Office of Civil Rights, I was really sort of the only sort of senior level person in my field, and
A lone statistician,
helping the regions in the country collect data and analyze data, but that was a difficult task because these aren't statisticians.
Right.
And so someone said, go over to the National Center for Education Statistics, and I, again, okay, kind of do what that sounds good.
Okay, seems like a good idea.
Yeah. So I became a chief again of data analysis for NAEP. I don't think I realized I was walking into the nation's treasure.
Truly,
Yeah, the nation's report card is the nation's treasure. It was that then and it is now.
Well, we've both seen a lot of changes over the years. So looking back, what change surprised you the most?
Well, first of all, let me say, just a friendly amendment to my introduction. I'm a former commissioner of the National Center for Education Statistics. I loved it, but just sort of so that it's clear. 18 months ago, devastation hit for
Yes.
the National Center for Education Statistics, and overnight, 97% of the staff were gone.
Truly was devastating.
I know.
It devastated
I know.
many of us
Yeah.
outside of the organization
I
too.
know,
So,
Jerry. But I want to take this moment, since we're here, to thank everyone for their support, not just of me,
no, but of the,
but for the entire organization.
yes,
Just outpouring. And I think what surprised me is that the support came from everywhere. I don't think I
All
expected
levels.
it. All levels, even the media, who I had worked with for decades,
they reached
three
out.
and a half decades.
Wow.
And they reached out. They wanted to tell not just my story, but the story of the center and what happened. So they kept, it in the news. And that was supportive. They're going to stick with the facts, and that's their.
but that's
But it was supportive to sort of understand. They wanted
Yeah.
to understand what happened, why it happened,
it was so
what
abrupt.
can we do.
It was abrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike many of the other changes, which were sort of incremental that happened throughout the years. But
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
quite an abrupt change.
Or even changes that happened during the 18 months. They were not as for the other parts of our
No.
statistical system. They were smaller, but still meaningfully impactful, but smaller. This was, we were
You were
first.
decimated. Yeah,
decimated.
really. But it's amazing that the nation's report card, though, continues on despite
Yes.
that. So
Yes.
that is a testament to the folks inside still.
Yes,
trying to,
yes, yeah.
But
People are wonderful stewards of the nation's report card.
yeah, which is important for us as a nation.
Yes.
Well, let's turn to a little bit of something a little different. I know you've mentored many people over the years. So if you were advising someone early in their career now in statistics who wants to go into something like education policy or education statistics, what would you encourage them to learn that graduate school doesn't teach?
Well, first of all, they need to be good statisticians. That's, I think,
That's
their
the
point.
basis, right?
Yeah, they need to be good statisticians, rigor, intellectual.
Curiosity, I would say.
Yes, I love that, intellectual curiosity. That's foremost the first thing. But there's something that they're not going to learn there. They're not going to learn how to be a recipient of really good mentorship and what it means to be a steward of public data, official data. And that's what I think I would say when you go into this field. Learn from those who've been in it. Just like a physician, if you go, you're going to be a physician, you need to learn from
Yes.
my niece, actually Annabelle's mother. Annabelle's mother is a new MD. She just is finishing up her residency.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. But she was just saying, Peggy, I have to learn from those who are over my residency because they know what they're doing. They have the experience.
Yeah.
It's like that
Yeah.
when to our profession. They need to understand that they need to learn from others why and how to steward these data
'Cause
and why they're important.
That's a great point. And I think people in the system also need to mentor those coming
Yes.
into it
Yes.
about that. And
Yeah,
I think
abso-
it sounds like you were
absolutely.
fortunate enough to have somebody do that for you. And I know I was fortunate to have somebody help me understand that too.
That Emerson Elegant, for those of you who might know Emerson, he was the first sort of commissioner in the U.S. Department of Education when
Yep.
NCS got to the U.S. Department of Education. He hired me, and he mentored me. He probably never realized how important he was to me. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
When you are a mentor,
right.
you may not even realize
Know how much it means. Right.
to someone else.
Yeah.
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 But thank you for asking that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're coming to the home stretch here, and we're here at JSM celebrating statistics and data science. So let's end by sharing some of the things about why we're optimistic about the profession.
Well, let's state the obvious first, that this generation has powerful tools available to them.
Yeah.
What? AI, data science. I'll tell you a quick story. My son has a degree in aeronautical engineering. And he hasn't been out of school long, but he was taking a course to become certified in some other area. And he came home and he said, "Have you ever heard of Bayesian statistics?" And I said, "Well, what is the world coming to?" So I had to explain to them how important Bayesian statistics were to my profession.
That's great.
And I guess what it said to me is that these disciplines are sort of marrying each other. They're coming together.
It's good. Yeah.
And so I'm encouraged by that, not just by the tools that we all have to work with, but the tools are helping us to think in a multidisciplinary way.
Yes. Yes.
And I hope I'm not wrong about this, but I think that the number of attendees is up at this meeting.
It is up from last year. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like hope to me.
I'm hearing stories too, from students and how they're, doing some fabulous work. So I think there's the enthusiasm out there still.
Yeah.
There's still really that wanting to serve the public good, and so I agree. I think, we have some pathways forward.
Some promise.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
thank
am
you for that
optimistic.
question, Jeri.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Peggy. It's been a great conversation. I've learned some things from you, of course, and about you, and and I'm looking forward to your presentation this afternoon. So
Yes, thank you again,
you.
Jeri, for the
all
invite.
right. Well, thank you.
Thank
you, Adam.
Thank you. Thank you for such a wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed being a part of it, but not being a part of it.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.